I told you earlier that I've been speaking and training for almost 25 years. I entered this business when Time Magazine talked about the decade of the customer. And I thought, wow, I'm riding the tide, right? I'm getting it right when I need to be talking about customer service. And isn't this great? All the experts are talking about customer service in the decade of the customer. How do you think we've done? It's been 2.5 decades. Customer service get any better? No, it's just gone downhill, right? So I'm on my way to a client site, and I realized that one of the things that my client asked, if you imagine in the workplace a continuum from 0 to 10, my client calls and says at the end of 1 hour, I want you to teach customer service excellence, and at the end of 1 hour, I want everyone on the team to be where on the continuum? Not even a 10. What do they say? What do they say? An 11. Not even realistic. We're not even talking about the truth anymore. We've just gone overboard. And they say at the end of 1 hour, I want everyone on the team to be an 11 on a 10-point scale. Even if we could do a 10, is it possible in a 1 hour, half-day, full-day, week-long workshop to move everyone in an organization to a 10 at the end of training? Yes or no? No. This is the truth that struck me on the way to the client site. I realized that in your workplaces, in your associations, there are people at different points on the continuum. So you have people right now in this room who have just started wherever it is that they work, and they may be a 2 or a 3 just because of what they know about their organization. You have people who have been at their organization for a long while. They might be a 9 or a 10. And you have people somewhere in the middle. So my goal is no longer that the goal is a 10. My reality is that it is across the board, and that our desire in customer service training is only that you move, that you identify where am I today, and you know what the next level, 2 notches up, looks like, sounds like, and feels like. What's your stretch? Then the second truth, service is a tool, and the target is satisfaction. What the heck does that mean? Well, we talk about customer service like it's a be-all to end-all. But Ken Blanchard used to tell a story about the old-fashioned full-service gas station. Baby boomers are with me on this. What happened in a full-service gas station? You pulled up, they did what? Clean your windshield. There are X's and Y's in this room saying, really? They clean your windshield, they pop the hood, they check the oil, they check the air in the tires, and they gas it up. First day of training, the owner takes the young man aside and he says, here's what you do. Somebody drives up, you're going to do these 4 things. You're going to clean the windshield. You're going to pop the hood, check the oil, put the air in the tires, gas it up. Young kid is so excited, so eager, he goes out, he does that. Then the owner of the vehicle comes in to see the owner, demands to see the owner. He's irate, he's livid. The kid did everything he was supposed to do. What's the problem? Well, the problem is it was a brand new car. It was sparkling clean when it came in. Do you remember what happens when you take those little squeegee awful things, right, that have been on everybody else's car and you clean a brand spanking clean windshield? It's going to look bad. So the owner went, wait a minute, here's the truth. Customer service, yes, we want you to do those 4 things, but we've been misstating them. It's not those 4 things. We don't want you to clean every windshield. We want you to provide clear vision. And so once you understand that the goal is satisfaction, the question you want to ask yourself in your organizations is what satisfies our customers? That seems simple enough. Well, that's straightforward. We can do that, except that satisfaction's a moving target. How many of you remember going to the hotel, oh, let's say 8 years ago, and you saw that little thing on the pillow that said, help us conserve resources? First time you saw this, be honest. First time I saw this, I was like, you can't make me. Right? This hotel room is expensive. I expect my linens to be clean. I expect my towels to be clean. Then I got to learn a little bit about conservation, about our diminishing resources. Now I walk in, and what do? I look for the tag. I want to know the rules. And then when I leave the room and I come back and you haven't followed the rules, now I'm a dissatisfied customer. Why do I have clean towels? I don't want clean towels. So satisfaction is a moving target. And think about the generations that Seth was talking about. How many of these phones do you recognize? There are people in the room who honestly don't know that bottom right. Worse, there are people who don't know We used to have to work to make a phone call. I called it a workout. That was a session. That was a rep. 7 of those numbers. How about this one? How many of you remember that one? Who remembers what happened when you picked this one up? There was already someone on the phone and you didn't know them. And you had to ask them if they would get off the phone so that you could make your call because it was a party line. So you think about these different generations having different areas of satisfaction, being differently satisfied. I think about my neighborhood. I have 2 of my dear friends here. They know that I treasure my neighbors and my neighborhood. And my role, because I don't have children, I have a life, is that I greet new neighbors. I make a little neighborhood map. I go to the new neighbor. I bring a bottle of wine. I bring the map, and I welcome you into the neighborhood and try to help you feel like you're part of the clan. So I look out my back door, and I have a new neighbor. And I'm a boomer, and she's younger. And I look over, and I notice as I'm walking with the map and the wine, oops, she's on the phone. I'll wait. So I go back. Next day, she drives up. I see her drive up. I start out the door. Ooh, she's on the phone. I'll wait. Go back in. Next day, I look out. A year later, it occurs to me she's never going to be off the phone. I've just learned that the phone is part of her natural appendage. And so different generations have different ways of measuring satisfaction. I want a real person when I call. I don't want to register by the internet. Well, that's not necessarily true. In the last 5 years, I've decided registering by the internet, not such a bad thing. So you're constantly trying to stay on the pulse of these 4 generations. Then we have this one. This seems so simple. Customer expectation plus customer experience equals customer perception. But what does that mean? It means that every one of you in this room came to this event with a different expectation. If we meet the expectation, this is a bonus question on your handout, if you look right down here, says when the service experience, your experience today, matches your expectation, the service is generally what? Noticed or not noticed? How many of you raise a hand, vote for noticed? Ah, how many say not noticed? Yeah. When you meet the customer's basic expectations, your service delivery is essentially appreciated or taken for granted. Yeah, unfortunately, it's taken for granted. So you and I wonder, when we give our best every day and we meet people's diverse expectations, why they don't stop us at the door and say, that was extraordinary. The reason they don't stop and say it was extraordinary is that's what they expected. The only way you're going to hear about customer service most times is to do what? Exceed or fall short. We do this as internal customers as well. So know that, no, we're not rushing to tell you what a great job you did to meet our expectations, and that makes our job a little rough. Then the last customer service truth, that the gift is in the gap. What are the questions that your customers are most frequently asking? What are they complaining about? And what are they Googling? What's the information that they ask for over and again? Because your opportunity, customer service opportunity, is to fill the gap. That is my time. Thank you. I hope you're satisfied. I hope you're more than satisfied.